3, and second initiation was in 74. Prabhuji has distributed Srila Prabhupada's books for 32 years.
52.
52 years.
Yeah. 52 years.
52 years.
Who in this room is under 50? Raise your hand. They're over 50? These are all older? Okay, those who are listening. Who is under 50? Raise your hand. So I was distributing books before all of you were alive. And I'm still doing it.
You may have distributed books to us in the last life, so we have devotees now.
Hare Krishna.
So Prabhuji was also part of the Radha Damodar famous party with Vishnujan Maharaj and Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Prabhuji has served previously as a vice president of Bhaktivedanta Manor, England during the 1980s. And Prabhuji was a very good friend of Bhakti Charu Maharaj when Bhakti Charu Maharaj was serving Srila Prabhupada in 1977. Currently, Prabhuji is president of Nitai Gaur Nataraj, a temple in El Dorado Hills, California.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Is there a reason there was only one pair of cartels at the kirtan? Is there a reason only one pair? Oh, it goes around the neighbors? They need to hear it, though. Of course, that's easy for me to say. Come here and start trouble, leave. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Balaba Kiribada Dari Gopijana Balaba Kiribada Dari Yasoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Balaba Giribada Dadiya Gopijana Balaba Giribada Da Gopijana Balaba Giribada Dadi Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vunachari Jamuna Tira Vunachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parvajagacharya Asatara Sattva Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parvajagacharya Asatara Sattva Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Anantikoti Vaishnava Vrindi Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Mathura Dham Ki Shri Dwarka Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Shri Navadvip Dham Ki Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Ganga Mayi Ki Jamuna Mayi Ki Tulsi Devi Ki Bhakta Devi Ki Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Jagat Guru Savior of the whole world Ocean of Mercy Srila Prabhupada Ki Gaur Premanande All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Namaram Chaiva Narottamam Devam Saraswatim Vyasam Tuto Jayam Mudire Nasta Praisa Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. What verse do they have? 24? Okay, so, okay, we'll do this verse. It has no purport, so I'll also do the following verse by myself. We can do this verse. What time does class end? 9:15? Okay. I'll get to say once I get done, I'll be able to say any questions and then just go. Yadasha. Oh. Okay. Yeah, you don't have that one. Okay. Teshu. Jigyasha. Pashava. Savanaspataya. Kushaha. Idam. Cha. Deva Jagyanam. Deva Yajjanam. Kalas Choru Gunanvita Gunanvitaha Teshu Jagyasha Pasava Savanaspataya Kushaha Idam cha deva yajnanam Kalashchoru Gunanvitaha Teshu Jagyasha Pashava Savanaspataya Kushaha Idam cha deva jagjanam Kalashchoru Gunanvitaha Teshu Jagyasha Pasava Savanaspataya Kushaha Idam cha deva yajnanam Kalashchoru Gunanvitaha Mataji's. Teshu, in such sacrifices. Yajasya, of the sacrificial performance. Pashavaha, the animals, or the sacrificial ingredients. Savanapastaya, along with flowers and leaves. Kushaha, the straw. Idam, all these. Cha, as also. Devayajanam, the sacrificial altar. Kalaha, a suitable time. Cha, as also. Uru, great. Guna anvitaha, qualified. Translation. For performing sacrificial ceremonies, one requires sacrificial ingredients such as flowers, leaves, and straw, along with the sacrificial altar, and a suitable time, which is in the spring. Interesting. So I'll do the next verse by myself. Vastunyo sadaya sneha rasaloha mridojalam richo yajju samse samani chatohotram chasatama. Vastuni, you can, oh, that's all right. we'll just go directly to translation. Translation. Other requirements are utensils, grains, clarified butter, honey, gold, earth, water, the Rig Veda, the Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and 4 priests to perform the sacrifice. Please repeat. Other requirements are utensils, grains, clarified butter, honey, gold, earth, water, the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, and Sama Veda, and 4 priests to perform the sacrifice. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. To perform a sacrifice successfully, at least 4 expert priests are needed. One who can offer, hota, one who can chant, udgata, one who can kindle the sacrificial fire without the aid of separate fire, advaryu, and one who can supervise, Brahma. Such sacrifices were conducted from the birth of Brahma and the first living creature, and were carried on to the reign of Maharaj Yudhisthira. But such expert Brahmin priests are very rare in this age of corruption and quarrel. And therefore, in the present age, only the yajna of chanting the holy name of the Lord is recommended. The scriptures enjoy Harinama, 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 Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyataha. Chant the holy names, chant the holy names, chant the holy names. In this age of Kali, of quarrel and hypocrisy, Nasteva. There's no other way. Nasteva. No other way. No other way for God realization. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, but my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisance at his transcendental lotus feet. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvasesa Sunyavadi Pasacha Disatarne. First of all, I'd like to say that I am very happy to have come back home. Come back to Radha Gopinath Loka. This is Radha Gopinath Loka. This is Loka is the planet of Radha Gopinath. In this planet, everyone is happy. Radha Gopinath is very, very merciful because his servant, Radhanath Swami, is very, very merciful. You are all very, very fortunate. This is not an ordinary thing. Don't think all this is just happenstance. You are very, very fortunate to be in this association. And it is by the mercy of Radha Gopinath, Lalita Vishaka, Nathji, Nitai Gaur Nataraj, and especially Srila Prabhupada. You never forget this. Don't be ungrateful. That's the worst thing a person can be, is ungrateful. Especially to someone's compassion. Someone helps you, and throw them away. Prabhupada gave that example once. There was one devotee, he was coming up a hill, and the devotee, we were younger than Srila Prabhupada, and his devotee reached down to help Srila Prabhupada up this little mound. And Prabhupada took his hand and he helped him walk up to the top of the mound, and then he took his hand and he threw it away. And he said, this is what happens to the ungrateful spirit souls. They are ungrateful to the Guru and ungrateful to God. Everything we have is the manifestation of Krishna. Nothing in this universe is ours. You do a little bit of hocus pocus on all this technology and they think you're great. This is nothing. Krishna breathes out of the pores of his body and manifests entire universes. Millions and millions of universes. And within that universe are all the ingredients of creation. Everything that is manifested here, no one, who made this? Who created that? No technology can do that. You can't create wood. Only Krishna can do. I was seeing there's this big thing of now men and women all fighting. Women are better than men are better than all this stuff. We are all insignificant. We're dasa anadas. We're all servants of the Lord. But everyone is born into their body because of what you desired and what you deserved. Right? Everyone. You can look, just traveled 10,000 miles through the United States, through Europe, Germany. Then I get to India, and it's a whole other universe. Every single soul is in their position because of what they desire and deserved. But Krishna says, Aprama bhuvana loka punar avatanojana. This is not your home. You don't belong here. You don't belong here. You will never be satisfied here. He said, from the highest planet, Brahma Loka. We saw Lord Brahma last night, right? On the stage. So many problems he has. But Krishna says, one who attains Samayabho never takes birth again. Krishna says, don't strive for this world. It's not a good deal. So, like, people who went to the university to study? Raise your hand if you went to. I want to see anyone who is just too smart that they didn't need a university. Raise their hands. Okay, very good. So, we go to get training in expertise in whatever the field of activity, right? Whatever. You're asking an authority, someone who knows. Well, who can know more than the Creator? Aham savasya pravavo matasarva pravartate iti madva vajanti mam bhutabhava samandita. Krishna says, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Just try to imagine that concept. He's the source of it. No one is the source of anything, but Krishna is the source of all, material and spiritual. Everything emanates from me. Krishna said, he's not being puffed up. He's just stating the truth. But then he says, the wise who know this perfectly will engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So, one has to be wise. Let's go to the authority. If you want, just like, for example, you want to build an electric car, it would be a good idea to talk to Elon Musk, right? And if Elon Musk said, hey, by the way, I'm worth $200 billion. Do you need some capital? Oh, thank you, Prabhu. Well, who has all the capital? Krishna has all the capital. So who are you going to? Elon Musk or Krishna? What to say everyone else in between there? And if you go to a mundane person and you dedicate your life to their service, all you do is grow old, you get disease, and then you die. And you take zero with you. Steve Jobs, right? Apple computer was worth $10 billion. This is how much he took with him. Zero. Zero. And his only good fortune is he went to the Hare Krishna temple in Seattle when he didn't have any money. And he ate prasad. But he never gave his money to Krishna. Zero. So we have this opportunity to make spiritual investments. Everything is a choice at every moment. You can win or lose. See, as a child, I hated to lose. I had a scholarship in sports to Brown University because I was a fierce competitor, and I hated to lose. But you can't. And my mother used to always say, "You can't win them all, Randall. You can't win them all." I hated that. And then I read the Krishna book, and then I realized Krishna wins them all. When you see, the odds are against them. When Jarasandh was coming with how many Akshahini? 8 Akshahini divisions? It's about 6 or 7 million men. And he had one group of fellows, and they came out and they killed everyone. And then they did it 17 times. He killed everyone. He always won. And after reading, I said, hey, you know what? I want to be with this person because he always wins. And so, Krishna's yada yada hi dharmasha glanir bhavati bharata. Why? Why does he descend? To make you a winner. Make you win. Don't be a loser. We have this great fortune. It is so rare. I remember one time Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture in New Vrindavan, and he said, he was talking about the glories of devotional service and how actually a living entity goes through millions and millions of births to finally getting this opportunity to become enlightened, but not to become enlightened, but to actually meet Krishna, to get back to Goloka Vrindavan, not to go to Brahmajyoti or some heavenly planet, but go back to... And then he stopped and he said, this is no ordinary thing, going back home, back to God. This is not an ordinary thing. This is so rare. And when Prabhupada said that, there was I looked around the room, everyone's eyes was like this. Like, we just won the universal lottery. We just all won. Because in the material world, right, you're very, in India, they're very fanatic for cricket, right? They want to be world champions of the cricket, right? But for them to be world champions means you got to beat Pakistan, you got to beat England, you got to beat Scotland, you got to beat, right? So everyone has to cry for you to be a winner, but in Krishna consciousness, everyone wins. Everyone's a winner. You're never the loser. What a situation. Where else can you say in this material world that you can be the winner? But here's the thing. You come into this room, you get Srila Prabhupada's books, you read them, and you follow them, and you surrender. And that is the Jagya. Because Krishna says, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all the austerities you perform, they must be done as a sacrifice unto me. And he said, and by this principle of renunciation, you will come to me. Such a simple process. And you don't have to be rich, but if you're rich, why not? Give it to Krishna. You know, if you're smart, you don't have to be smart, but if you're smart, give it to Krishna. Right? That is a Jagya. We are all contributing what we can. Now, who went to this performance last night? Raise your hand to the went. You didn't go? Oh, you didn't. Some people. So you didn't go. Okay. So that was the first time. Does that happen every year? Is that a regular program? How long has that been going on? Huh? Since 20? Oh, this is the third year. Okay. All right. Okay. So that was totally unexpected by myself and Dr. Justin here. We're coming from California, and I'm actually delivering the feet of my best friend and Siksha Guru Bhakti True Swami, who those who have been here a while know and love, right? We all love him. So my son was able to get an impression of his feet. And then Lochan, my godbrother, who actually did the murtis of Srila Prabhupada, and he also painted most of the pictures in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's a brilliant artist. He also a very close friend to Bhakti True Swami, carved his feet perfectly. And then another godbrother of mine poured this molding, made this rubber silicone mold. Anyways, myself and my son made 2 of his feet, and then we brought him all the way from California, which every step of the way they were trying to thwart us, but by Krishna's mercy we brought them here. And they're going to have a samadhi, Pushpa Samadhi in Ujjain. So, and I just always come to Chowpatty just to get like my head screwed on correctly. Because Chowpatty, Radha Gopinath Mandir, just always makes me feel very happy and very dedicated to Srila Prabhupada's service. So I came, and all of a sudden they said, there's this drama thing, and would I like to go? And by Krishna's arrangement, I saw Radhanath Maharaj, and he took me there himself personally. So, and I was just astounded, because I had seen many, many performances. I first came to the temple in 1972, which is 52 years ago, and I've seen hundreds of performances, and I never saw a performance like that last night. And Prabhupada loved those plays. He loved those plays. There used to be a group in ISKCON called the Vaikuntha Players. And I knew several of them, and they were some of them were professional actors, actually. They actually played, on some Broadway theater before they were devotees. Okay, so they were professional actors. But the actors last night, I thought they must be Bollywood actors, because we're here in Bollywood, right? Because they were just so convincing. And then I realized this wasn't because some kind of trick of talent. This was the thing of the soul. This was a thing of bhakti. That they focused so much on all the different details. I mean, the costume, the scenery, the whole production, the movements. What to say, I wanted to kill Ravana myself, but he probably could have killed me. But in the first performance, which second part is tonight, just took my breath away. Both of performance, I would have to say they tied. I won't rate one better than the other, but there is so much bhakti. And to do that, you have to work so hard. I actually was involved in a little of the drama, and we had a little troupe in the Midwest of America that me and Batu Gopal, one of my godbrothers, and Prabhanu used to do shows. So I know what it is to put on a skit. But that production last night was like going in a time tunnel. And we were just back to the world of Indradumna Maharaj. The whole thing was just totally overwhelming. And Prabhupada, actually, when I was on the Radha Damodar party, Prabhupada came to Los Angeles, and there was, they had diorama exhibits. Like, is there diorama still here, down here? Yeah. Okay, so they had an exhibit there in Los Angeles. They had just finished it. And Prabhupada was given a tour, and we got to walk with Srila Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada he started to tell about Lord Jagannath. And he said, you know, that Krishna, Prabhupada kind of reduced it. He said that they were talking, the queens in Dwarka were talking about, because Krishna would be calling Radhe, 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 be calling when he was sleeping. He was missing Srimati Radharani and Vipralamba Bhav. And so the queens of Dwarka, and they presented it so nicely yesterday, wanted to know what are these pastimes of Vrindavan. So then it was totally bona fide. They went to Rohini because he is the mother of Balaram, and she lived in Vrindavan during the persecution of Devaki and Vasudev. So they started telling the story. This is how Prabhupada said it. He started telling this story. And all the queens were like enchanted. And Krishna came up. This is how Prabhupada said it. He came up and he started to listen to it. And he was like, went into such trance. His arms pulled into his body. And his eyes got very big. Prabhupada went like this, big eyes. And he had a big old smile. And he went frozen. That's how Prabhupada said that. And he said, and then Balaram came in. And he said, hey, what are you, bye. What's going on? And he started listening. And he went up. And then, actually said Subhadra came up and did it. That's how Prabhupada told the story in a nutshell. So when seeing that last night was just incredible. And the point when Indradumna Swami he was so disturbed that the carpenter had not, he had gone quiet, and they opened it up, and it looked like Lord Jagannath was unfinished. But he was not unfinished. He was in a state of Mahabhav. He was in a state of transcendental ecstasy that he is actually requesting all of you to come and be in his pastimes in the form of Lord Jagannath. And when I saw, like, him open it up, and then they showed Jagannath, Balaram, and Lady Subhadra, I had this overwhelming feeling about all the devotees of ISKCON. How everyone has given a little sum of their soul to make this thing happen. And especially Rath Yatra, when you go out, everyone, you have the pujaris, you have the carpenters, you have the cooks, everyone is pushing. We did marathon after marathon. And just to see Lord Jagannath, and when Lord Jagannath popped on the screen, I just became beside myself. And I just thought of the greatness of Srila Prabhupada. And also I thought of the greatness of Radhanath Swami. Because, to be honest, and I hope Maharaj isn't listening to this class because he gets angry when I say this, but I will say it anyways. Everything you see here in Radha Gopinath, in the Pune temple, in your Govardhan Eco Village, in your Bhaktivedanta hospital, this is all the manifestation of pure love that Radhanath Swami has for Srila Prabhupada. And that is an incredibly amazing, not just accomplishment, but manifestation. And if we're here to actually see this, we are so fortunate. And I see how, like Srila Prabhupada was penniless. He came to America with 40 rupees, and at the time, they would not even exchange rupees for dollars. So Prabhupada actually came without any money. And one man came to the temple. He said, I met your Swami in 1965. That was before ISKCON was even formed. And he was sitting on a bench. And he said, who are you and what are you doing? And he says, I am the Acharya for the internet, for this international society. We have temples all over the world. We have farm projects. We have hundreds of thousands of devotees and followers, and so many. He went on to explain all of ISKCON. And he said, but I'm simply separated by time. So, first time I heard that story was about 45 years ago. So time moves on. And now I see all of you. And I saw that performance yesterday. And practically speaking, there wasn't one person in either performances that was alive when I got initiated. How many people were born before 1973? Raise your hand if you were born before 73. Okay, you're an old-timer. Okay, but everyone else, how many people were born after 73? Okay. So Prabhupada was talking all about you. He was talking about each and every one of you. Prabhupada was talking about this temple. He was simply separated by time. And those devotees who gave their time and energy to put on that production, they are so fortunate because they worked so hard. You could see this was not being paid. They were not being paid by money. They were just driven by devotion, love and devotion. And that was the manifestation. That is, of course, their great fortune. And it is our great fortune to have witnessed that. And everything that you see in ISKCON, like for example, I'm from California, and in California where I live, of course there's some bad parts of California, but I live in a nice spot, right? So we live in a very opulent place, yet the people are all unhappy. But and when I come to India, I also see everyone is unhappy. I was at the airport and everyone was pushing and shoving and getting and where are you going? It's 2:00 in the morning. You're in such a hurry to go nowhere. But as soon as I walked on this property, everything changed. We are sitting not in the material world. We are sitting in Radha Gopinath Loka. We are sitting in the planet of Radha Gopinath. And therefore, these things, birth, death, disease, and all that, they don't really exist. Nahanyate mahanyamane sarire. This body may be slain, but you will never die if you absorb yourself in the service of Krishna in the same way that all of those devotees did last night, what all the devotees are doing in this temple. All of this is going into your eternal bank account. Don't think you are the loser. You can actually turn around and look at all the devotees here. Everyone that is here is a winner because they are that much closer to Krishna now. Krishna says, out of many, many births and deaths, Vasudevam Sarvamiti Samahatma Sadurlabha. Such a great soul is very rare to know this. So we're all on that path. Just, it's like a train. Don't get off the train. Don't see some advertisement and be distracted and jump off the train. Stay on this train of Krishna consciousness. Push it forward. You will not be disappointed. I have to say, I have done practically nothing for Krishna. I distribute a few books, which is something great because Prabhupada is great. But pretty much not like Radhanath Swami, not like Bhakti True Swami. Those are Maharatis. But I have viewed them. I have seen them. And one thing is, I'm not envious of them. I'm proud of them. I've seen what they've done. I know what they've done. And the struggle. There's always a struggle in your devotional service. Don't think you're exclusively suffering. Everyone in this world is suffering. But by this Maha Mantra and by this process of Krishna consciousness, all your suffering can end. This is it. Let this be the last life you're here. You don't need to come back again. Don't come back. Yayatamam prapachanse tamstataiva bhajamyaham. As you surrender to Krishna, He will reciprocate. And He will reciprocate in a way that is unimaginable. It's going to be way beyond your wildest dreams. I can say that because even a person like me, I am like Sanjay and Bhakti True Swami and Radha Swami are like Arjun. Now, I'm not Arjun, but I could see Arjun. And Sanjay was not envious of Arjun. His opinion was, wherever there is Arjun and wherever there is Krishna, there is certainly, what is it? Huh? Say it louder. Wealth. What is the first? Huh? Victory. Yes. And what? Prosperity. Okay, I can't remember the three. Victory, prosperity, and wealth. But whatever it is, you will win. You will win as long as you take shelter of the process. You have to individually feel, this is also my mission. We all have a mission. And ultimately, if you can contribute, your life will benefit. Just as we saw last night, where the squirrel was kicking in a little dirt, and Hanuman is throwing in gigantic mountaintops, right? And he was afraid he was going to stomp on the squirrel. And he said, no, Prabhu, you're just kicking. And Ram said, no, his service is as great as yours. So it's beautiful. Every single person can surrender to Krishna. Everyone can follow the regular principles. Who cannot? No one needs to kill animals to stay alive, right? No one needs to do that. No one needs gambling, right? No one needs illicit sex. No one needs, what am I forgetting? Intoxication. Especially you don't need that, right? This world is an intoxicating place in itself. You can be, like the internet is like an intoxication. I mean, people are addicted. They lose their phone, they're like a heroin addict. They go through withdrawal. Where's my phone? Right? He doesn't have he couldn't get a SIM card. Now his phone is useless. He's ready to commit suicide. Not really, he's not attached. But that's the point. The intoxication of this material world is not just alcohol and not just drugs. The material energy is designed to intoxicate and bewilder the spirit soul. We have nothing to do with Bhumirapo nalo vayu kamana burevacha iti ankara iti ame bina prakriti astada. All of this material world is separate from what we are. And we have the process, and we have the facility. Look at this facility. So, what you can do, the best, if you want to please Krishna, you go to Radhanath Swami's either directly or one of his representatives, and you say, how can I serve? What can I do? I'll sweep the floor. And your spiritual life has begun. So, last point was that Jagya, one performs Jagya. The first word spoken to Lord Brahma was tapasya, austerity. That was the only thing that Krishna spoke to Lord Brahma. One word, austerity. So the secret to human life, and actually secret to success, even in material life, is you have to perform austerity and sacrifice. Without austerity and sacrifice, you can't win in this world, what to say the next. So the simple austerity are these four regular principles, and then chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is greater than all the tapasya and all the previous yugas put together. The simple chanting of the holy names of Krishna. That was introduced by Radhanath Swami. I wanted to try that once. I watch his tapes all the time. I see most of you on tapes. So, continue on doing what you're doing. Go to this, if you can, go to this this play tonight. And if you can, make sure they're filming this, aren't they? That's okay. Yeah, because I want to see it again. It's very, very good. And just serve Maharaj. All my God brothers are leaving this world. I may be next. I'm 70 years old now. I was 19 years old when I joined this movement. So, like that, Prabhupada said, it's an ephemeral flash. 100 years is nothing. Don't give your life to be dedicated. I'm from America. I'm from California. I've seen the best this world has, and it's nothing. I've also seen Srila Prabhupada, and he was everything. To see that dichotomy, I'm just about winning. So be the winners and go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is there any questions or comments? Yes, Prabhuji.
Enlightening session we had today. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
I got a question: how one can know purpose of one's life?
How can you know what the purpose of one life? Tadviri pranipatena pariprashnena seveya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tatpadarshana. Just try to learn the truth by approaching the bona fide spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively, render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you, for he has seen the truth. So, did you go to you weren't at the play yesterday? How often have you been coming to the temple? How long?
Fourth or fifth time. Fourth time.
Okay. Have you seen Radhanath Swami?
Yes, I attended his lecture last time.
Okay. Do I need to say anything else? You just surrender to him, you'll go back to Godhead, for sure.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. You mentioned that how you see, you are so happy seeing your God brothers performing so well, and obviously we are so inspired by your presence here. We had a wonderful Guru Puja morning. It's really, just personally speaking for me, it's easy to say that I don't envy or I don't, I am very happy seeing my seniors or my equals performing well. But generally the people around or world around sees the result. What are you contributing personally? So you also start calculating your own contribution. So I heard one saying that it doesn't matter what others are doing. What is that? You can do miracles if it doesn't matter who gets the credit. But because world around sees what you are doing, therefore it in the condition stage it really matters. So how to come out of this and enjoy and celebrate the other success?
First of all, our disease in this world is envy. That's why we're here in this world to begin with. We somehow or other wanted to not help Krishna in his Ras Leela. We wanted to be Krishna in the Ras Leela. There's only one Krishna, though, even though he expands unlimitedly, and we're not him. So it's an artificial idea to enjoy, to be the enjoyer as such. So the first thing is to realize your constitutional position, that you're Krishna's eternal servant. And then in whatever way you can use your talents, your intelligence, your ability, your wealth, your power, that is to your eternal credit. So, you know, Prabhupada said everyone has their own geniusness. You have some idea. And if you have some idea to spread Krishna consciousness that hasn't been done, or it has been done and you're imitating someone who is doing it because they're successful, that's what's important. If you don't have that capacity, you don't have to be envious, though. Just be appreciative. You know, be grateful that, oh, you have done this nice work, and maybe I can contribute a little something like that. But Krishna is no fool. You can, there's the old expression, you can cheat some of the people all of the time and all of the people some of the time, right? But the final thing is you can never cheat Krishna, because he's in your heart. He's the witness. He's in every atom. There's no cheating. He knows what's going on. He knows your heart. He knows your mind. He knows your past. There's no point in trying to be pretentious, because he knows. He's been with you all the time. So at one point, you know, it's like the two birds in the tree, the Bhagavad Gita says, right? One is trying to enjoy the fruit, and the other is the witness. That's part. When you left Goloka Vrindavan, and Prabhupada said, you have not had like a few births or thousands of births, but he said you have had millions and millions of births. We have been rejecting Krishna for millions of lifetimes. He said, just give this one to Krishna and see what happens. Just give this one, see what happens. That's actually what Srila Prabhupada told Bhakti True Swami. And what happened to him is he went to Krishna Loka. I would say that's a success story. Now, all of us, we can say, well, he's there, but I'm not. Elon Musk has $200 billion, but I don't, right? Well, you can have way more than 200 billion. All you do is follow the path of the acharyas. Follow their example. They teach by their example. So he's there, and you can be there too. We can all be there. In the process, try to do something grand. But if you can't, and here's the thing, if you're spending, 40% of your time serving Krishna, giving it, and 60% giving it to Maya and sense gratification, well, you're not going to be successful. Right? But if you give 100% of the time, right? Krishna knows, he's given the 100% of the time. What was that one devotee from Lord Chaitanya's Leela? He made baskets of palm leaves, right? And that's all he did. What's his name? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. Okay. And then Lord Chaitanya would steal them. He wouldn't even pay for it. Of course, he's in Goloka Vrindavan, right? Then there was King Pataparudra, who was one of the greatest kings and warriors and emperors of the 20th, not the 20th century, but of Kali Yuga anyways, right? And he had so much opulence, and he gave all what he gave, because he had the capacity to do that. So, you get an idea, whatever it is, maybe we could serve like this, maybe we could do that, right? You put the idea out there, and then you push it. With my idea, when I joined, Prabhupada said, book distribution will increase my life. So I thought, I want to increase Srila Prabhupada's life, so I just went on book distribution every day. And then he said it would be good for me, it would be good for you, it would be good for the world. So, is that okay? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Son?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, as Prabhupada said, book distribution is our main business, and you are doing book distribution for more than 50 plus years. So can you share some of your experience, and so that we'll get motivated and we can also contribute to Srila Prabhupada mission?
Well, in 1977, I was Sankirtan leader in Detroit, Yatra. And we had a marathon that we were doing Prabhupada had bought this building called the Fisher Mansion. And we were doing some renovations and so on. So we were trying to help renovate it. So we went on a big marathon, and one of the motivations was, because I was Sankirtan leader, I could go with the temple president to Vrindavan and see Srila Prabhupada. So I went on a big marathon, and that was my little motivation, right? So when I got to India, it was in October 1977, and that's where I met Bhakti True Swami. So certain things happened where I got to be in Srila Prabhupada's room like every single day, from like after Mangalarti till 9 o'clock at night, for 2 weeks. Those are the 2 best weeks of my life. But we were there, and Prabhupada was still pushing. Prabhupada couldn't lift his head by himself, and he was still translating the Srimad Bhagavatam. And in my mind, I remember specifically trying to grasp, who is this person? He's done it all. He's already built 108 temples, millions of books, but he's still pushing to translate the Bhagavatam. Well, why? For all of you. And Prabhupada, so I was watching that, and then a newsletter came in. And because there was a marathon to, first of all, Prabhupada was sick for quite a long time. and we were chanting, and like 24-hour kirtan for Prabhupada's recovery. And we were praying, my dear Lord Krishna, if you so desire, please cure Srila Prabhupada. And we were praying like that. And that went on for months and months and months. And but then Prabhupada, and like Prabhupada would get better, and then it'd go back and forth. So it was a constant struggle. And there was so much anxiety, and fear. It was very, very fearful. You can well imagine, all these boys, all of you and girls that love Radhanath Swami, you can imagine. That's how we were feeling. That's why, like the devotees in Ujjain, they know what it means to lose their Guru Maharaj. It's horrible. But Prabhupada read this newsletter, and in the newsletter, there were two devotees. One was named Pragosh, and one was named Vaisheshika. And they're both really good friends of mine. And they were going out in New York City to Central Station, and they were doing over 100 Bhagavatams a day, each of them. They're Maharatis. And when Prabhupada heard that, they read and they told some stories what they did. Prabhupada was like, his eyes were closed, but they were reading it to Tamal Krishna Maharaj was reading to him. And he got to the end of the newsletter. Prabhupada opened his eyes and he said, read it again. And they read the whole thing over again. And then Prabhupada actually kind of sat up and he said, preaching means fighting. He says, we are at war with Maya. He said, these are my, how did he say it? These are my warriors. That's what he said. These book distributors are my warriors. They're going out into the face of danger every day just to give them these books. He says, so I want you, he says, I don't want to die. He said, I want to die on the battlefield. I want to go. Prabhupada was so sick. He said, I want to go with my preachers. You take me to 55th Street Temple. And he said, then let me preach alongside of my preachers. And if I die, you can put a tomb on top of 55th Street Temple. I heard Prabhupada say that directly. And all the devotees were laughing and crying at the same time. Shri Radha Gopinath ki. So that wasn't really my book. It was really Pragosh and Vaisheshika's. But I went back and I told both of them what it was. And immediately when I told them, they said, we're going out in book distribution. They did. They literally said, we're going out. So those are also Maharatis. So, the thing is, everything goes on. Krishna's the witness of every one of us. He knows all the austerities. Everything, and one thing is blissful. Just like we had kirtan. I love kirtan. That's why I became a devotee. I love to chant and dance. Probably if I had to meditate all day, I wouldn't be sitting here. So you can chant or dance, or you can just stand there. As you surrender to the process, Krishna reciprocates. And Prabhupada one time said, if you are in anxiety, you simply go in the kirtan and you raise your arms up and you start jumping up and down. He said, and do that for a few minutes. And if you don't become happy and joyful, keep jumping. So I did. And it works. I can attest to that. It works so many times. And it's overwhelming, actually. The flood that Lord Chaitanya promises is there. You just seize it. You surrender to it, and you know that. Everyone knows. There's this kirtan that you've been in where it just took you to another world. I can think in my head right now of like watching Prabhupada. You ever see that picture of Prabhupada ringing the bell in Mayapur? Ringing the bell? I was in that kirtan. And it's ecstatic to watch, but I'll tell you, it was even more ecstatic to be in that kirtan. We went completely, when Prabhupada got there and started ringing the bell, like the whole universe was, it's just like the whole universe just opened up to us. It was so ecstatic. Our constitution, who we are, is Satchitananda. Ananda means bliss, ecstasy. It doesn't mean morose. It means to be blissful, happy. But you don't get your happiness from sense gratification. You get it from performing that sacrifice. You'll get it. But you have to like not be diverted. Like anything, you can't let the distractions be there. Even in business, I also do business, and I know when I'm getting distracted, right? And you're dealing with people that are untrustworthy. You get away from that, right? You have to stay focused. So the focus is on the holy name of Krishna in the association of devotees and the service to the pure devotees. Those who will surrender to the great general. It's also mentioned that by the gopis in the 10th canto that there will be a great general who will spread the holy name all over the world. That was written 5,000 years ago. So this is not, don't think this is an ordinary thing. This is extraordinary. And all of you are be humble, be very humble, but you are also the most fortunate. We're not deserving, but we have it. Hare Krishna. Anyone else? I don't think I can do any better than that. Srila Prabhupada ki! No applause. Just chant your rounds and preach this movement.
Hare Krishna. So let's express our best heartfelt gratitude to Prabhuji by loudly chanting 3 times. Hare Krishna.